It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright, so hi everyone, thank you for clicking this video. An office mate of mine asked me if there's a way to create a simple tally system for users who responded yes to a survey that she made. So in this video, we're going to teach you guys a quick way to achieve this using the COUNTIF function. First, I will be providing a short explanation on what the function does, but if you need to save time, we've provided links in the description so you can skip ahead to the relevant sections in the video. So let's start. Okay, so we're gonna start with reading some of the documentation that Google already provides. So the COUNTIF function returns a conditional count across a range, and what that simply means is that it's going to give you the number of cells that reflect an information match, and the match has to be based on criteria that we provide. I think I just made it more complicated, but anyway. So we're gonna skip ahead to the syntax. So COUNTIF accepts two parameters, that's your range and your criterion. So the range is basically the group of cells that we're going to look for information in, and criterion is the information that we want the range to match so that it will add to the tally. So there are notes here about the data types and the criterion that must be used depending on the information in your range. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but it basically means that once you have a general idea of what your range contains or what kind of information it contains, whether it's text or a number, your criterion will ideally have to match that. Otherwise, it's not going to count anything. It's not going to create any matches, so your tally isn't going to work. Now, if you guys want to explore more applications of the COUNTIF function after this video, then Google already has a sample worksheet that you can duplicate. So you just have to click make a copy, and you should be able to get a spreadsheet with their sample, and you can explore some of the ways in which they use the COUNTIF function. For our video, we're only going to tackle a specific use case, so yeah. Okay, so moving on, I have a dummy spreadsheet available. So I already created a sample survey. I tried to copy her survey as much as possible. So I have a list of respondents, and they basically just had to tick a checkbox, and whether, I think for this one, it was whether they're going to be playing a game or not. So she used checkboxes here. You can do that by inserting checkboxes. And let's say if I click on this, let's have 5 respondents say yes to the survey, and depending on whether the box is checked or not, it's going to reflect the values true or false. So that's a convenient way for us to demonstrate this functionality. So we want to see, or we want to know how many people responded yes to the survey. So for here, let's count the number of people that said yes. So let's use our formula. I will type COUNTIF, and now we want to define the range. So we have this group. This is cell B2 until B11. So these are the cells that we want to check and count how many would match the criteria that I have. So we know that these are true or false values, so we can actually pretty much go ahead and use either true or false. And for the yes values, we know that we have to check for the true value. So I'm going to write true, and we're pretty much done. If I do this, it's going to count 5. And one way for you to cross-check this is we can actually repeat this formula and check for the people who responded no to the survey. So I'm going to do COUNTIF. We're going to do that same range, but this time we're going to check for the false values. So now they're both reflecting 5 and 5 because I have 10 respondents. 5 of them responded yes, and 5 of them responded no. So because we're using the same range, and that's going to continue monitoring the range for the tally, I can change these values and say have 6 people say no and 4 people say yes. Or I can change these values and your counter will update accordingly. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the quick way to use the COUNTIF function to kind of create a simple tally system. Now you can do this with other types of information as well. Let's say we want to try for numbers. This is going to be a bit of a bonus section, but let's say we have people responding with either 1 or 2, or let's say any number between 1 to 5. So let's say I have 3 people. Oops, not there. Let's have a bunch of people say 1, one person say 2, somebody say 3, 4, and 5. Now, if we want to check for the number of people who responded to each of these, then all we really have to do is create the COUNTIF function, use this same range, and what I'm gonna, and check for the value 1. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this formula, but I'm going to lock the range so that I can duplicate this formula. And now everybody's trying to look for 1, but if let's say we want to see how many people said 2, all I have to do is change my criteria to match the information I want to count. So now we know that 3 people answered 1, 1 person answered 2, 2 people answered 3, another 2 said 4, and another 2 said 5, and I can change that and have 4 people say it and remove that person who said 2. So yeah, if any changes to these values will also reflect the changes in your COUNTIF functions. And that's it. We hope you learned something from this video. Let us know in the comments if you have any specific cases you want to learn how to do with Google Sheets. Then make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and click the notification bell to get the latest updates on our new videos. Thank you guys for watching, and let's look forward to the next video.